Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A brother has asked a question that animals do not have a free will. Why do they suffer? Why there is suffering for animals? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests them as well? Well, you got to remember this world is not a permanent dwelling place for any being that exists here. The longest surviving beings on the face of this planet Earth are insects. However, their life has a span and it comes to an end. So do other beings. It be trees or four-legged animals or birds or any species of any kind, any living being that is seeable through the naked eye or unseeable through the naked eye, it has a lifespan. Be it viruses, bacterias, be it jinns or humans. So, when the world has been created with the concept of a lifespan, with the concept of tests, then there is a test for everybody, every being that has been dwelling on the planet Earth. You don't know what kind of test each individual has because the test for each individual is different. For each being is different. Animals do not have a free will. They cannot make decisions on their own. But to some extent, if they commit injustice to each other, even they will be questioned on the day of judgment. And anybody who has been served with injustice, the justice shall be served on the day of judgment, even for animals. And then, when the justice has been served, they will turn to dust. When they will die permanently, now this time they will die with justice being served for anyone that had been committed with injustice. There are some ahadith in Sahih al-Bukhari, for example, about a woman who was a sinner. She was once fetching water from the well, and she found a thirsty dog who was dying of thirst. So when she fetched the water out of the well, she first gave water to the dog who was thirsty, and then she drank water herself. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala liked this act of her mercy so much that changed her life around, opened the doors of guidance for her, and she never went the old ways that she was accustomed to. And Allah made her live a pious life, and she died as a pious woman. One act of kindness towards an animal turned her life up 180 degrees. Now, on the other hand, there is another woman. The story is being talked about in Sahih al-Bukhari that she had a cat, and she used to mistreat the cat. She wouldn't feed the cat. She would chain the cat. The cat died of torment and hunger. And this woman will be entering the Jahannam, the hellfire on the day of judgment because of her act against another being. So animals have rights, of course. They live on this planet, in this ecosystem with us, and they serve a purpose. And we do also serve a purpose. We have been sent over here for a reason. They have been created over here for a reason. As long as we live within our reason and do not commit injustice or not being unjust, everything works fine. The moment we become unjust is when things go the other way. So animals have a purpose. Humans have a purpose. So when animals commit injustice towards either each other, or humans commit injustice towards other humans or other beings on this planet Earth, then everybody has to pay a price for that on the day of judgment. So going back to your question that, okay, when they do not have a free will, then why are they punished, or why are they going through any kind of, well, because it's this place is not a permanent place. There is test for everything. We do not understand the mystery of divine wisdom. We don't. We do not understand the hikmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He has not given us complete knowledge of all the actions that He takes in. He doesn't have to Because وَمَا أُوتِيتُم مِّنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. You have been given knowledge, very little knowledge. So remember, وَفَوْقَ كُلِّ ذِي عِلْمٍ عَلِيمٍ. On every person knowledgeable, there is somebody who is more knowledgeable. So when our knowledge is limited, our wisdom is limited, our source of knowledge is limited, our vision is limited, we are bound by limitations. How can we then claim to know everything? And how can we claim that everything should be told to us, which is part of our three-dimensional world or ecosystem? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not answerable to anyone. وَلَا يَخَافُ عُقْبَاهَا. He is not answerable to any of us. He is Allah. He doesn't do anything unjust. However, if He were to enter all beings in the Jahannam, He can. And if He wants to enter everything into the Jannah, He can. So, again, remember, we need to understand our capacity, who we are, what we are. We're just slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are Abdullah or Amatullah. Not anything more than that. So, when the sufferings are around us, for example, these sufferings should soften our hearts, should compel us to take measures. For example, when we notice that certain animals are getting extinct because some humans are misusing the resources on the planet Earth, then we take measures to securing those animals, and you see people do that all the time. So that certain animal species don't go extinct. We put laws and rules and regulations in place. At the same time, we see that certain animals' population is growing too much at a very rapid pace. So we take measures about that as well. Now, there are some animals that we use for consumption, like human consumption animals. And if you notice, they are in big number. They're in huge number. They're in millions of different kinds, different species on all continents. Everywhere you go, you will find something that you can consume from them, be it in the waters, or be it in the land, or be it in the flying business. So, remember, at the end of the day, we have to live here our life in accordance with the rules that have been given to us to live our life. And animals too, have some rules and regulations to follow among themselves. If they commit injustice, they will also see that on the day of judgment. But after that, they will be turned to dust. That is why upon seeing animals turn to dust, that's why the kafir, when they will be about to be pushed into the hellfire, they will also claim that we wish if we were also dust. And this is the last ayahs of Surah An-Naba. عَمَّا يَتَسَاءَلُونَ عَنِ النَّبَإِ الْعَظِيمِ يَقُولُ الْكَافِرُ يَا لَيْتَنِي كُنْتُ تُرَابًا. Anyway, I hope that answered your question. Till next time, Assalamu alaikum.